This Fear Assembly podcast is a continuation from the prior episode. Are there any films that we didn't hit on that you guys know about are coming out that you want to shout out?
The only thing that came to my mind whenever I read the list was the End of Oak Street. Yeah, when I seen the trailer for the End of Oak Street, and I mean, it's just like a family that has to leave. There's shit going on, and he showed me a Brachiosaurus. That's it. Give me a dinosaur, I'm in. I don't need nothing else.
Right.
And put J.J. Abrams on it. Yeah, I'm hyped. If they wrap it into Cloverfield, even better. I'm all in for that one.
Right.
I mentioned on the on another Fear Assembly podcast, Cloverfield was one of my favorite creature feature horror films ever because you basically have a good Godzilla type of monster, except every time you try to hit it, it spawns off little monsters that still come and kill you. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty crazy, and we'll see if they tie that into this movie directly or if it's going to be more in line with, let's say, Cloverfield Lane. Going back to your other John Goodman reference, which did not have a lot of huge creatures or monsters, but had its own horror story that played well. Eric, what are your thoughts on the movie that Chuck mentioned?
I'm excited for that one, man. When I saw that dinosaur walk across the wind, like I did a trailer reaction. Everybody that saw my trailer reaction knows I was hyped for that one, man. And the main reason why I was hyped for that film is because I didn't know what to expect. I kind of blind watched it. And when I saw it, I said, man, this is really cool. What they kind of took their whole neighborhood and moved it, or took the house and moved it. I don't know what's going on, but it was enough intrigue and enough mystery there. And like, why is there a dinosaur like walking down Main Street type of deal? So like, I'm there. I'm excited. I want to see more. I want to get into kind of like the background of what this is actually going to be about. So yeah, they did enough to kind of draw me in.
For sure, yeah.
So that was called End of...
Yeah, it's called The End of Oak Street, yeah.
End of Oak Street, okay. And Chuck, do you know when this comes out?
The End of Oak Street is slated for... It does not... It just says 2026. It doesn't have a date on IMDb. Oh, August 14th.
All right. There you go. So keep that on your radar. So that's the full list of the upcoming... horror films. There's going to be more that are announced certainly over the coming weeks and months, and we'll talk about those as those come out, so that way they're on your radar and watch list.
It was also made by David Robert Mitchell, who made It Follows, so like that even adds more allure to The End of Oak Street. So
Well, many times we talk about films and TV and various subgenres. And we're gonna get more into that here shortly. But I think the best time to talk about some of this is right after we watch it. And so one that I'm going to bring up first, and I'll hand it off to you guys to talk about, is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. This is obviously one of the sequels to the original 28 Days Later, which was a classic UK-based zombie film. And this also takes place in Europe. Has a slightly different story. I don't want to give away too much for those that have not seen it. But what was really interesting about this film to me was just the creative dynamic of bringing in all these different lores of Satan and demons and cannibalism and various things, and tying it into a drama really at its heart, and also hits you with all the gore and all the slasher nonsense that you could ever want, from any film in this franchise. So I think this definitely checked a lot of boxes. I was slightly disappointed in terms of the level of scariness in general. There was never really a moment where I felt like I needed to shield my eyes or look away, but the intensity was very high, and I was very invested in all these characters, including the so-called bad guys, right? And in many movies, you're just that the bad guy is going to get taken out at some point, and you're just waiting for it to happen. In this film, you didn't necessarily root for or against any particular person, even though they're really trying to push you emotionally to wanting to invest in certain characters in a certain way. Chuck, what did you feel about Bone Temple? I'm sure you saw this months ago.
I love the Bone Temple. I was shocked that it didn't perform well. Like, it did terrible at the theater. It did terrible on streaming. I was blown away by that. I thought it was inherently better than the first one of this trilogy. Listen, what can Jack O'Connell not do? I mean, it's Sir Jimmy Crystal. I mean, he's vicious, but at the same time, you want to like hang out with him and like have a beer. Like, he's just so good. And Ralph Fiennes was it's so good. And Nia DaCosta crushed this movie. Like if we're being real, I thought it was great. And and it's inherently more important than it being like an infection or a zombie movie because it's about the true nature of man and like how people treat people. Like there's a lot of depth to it too. And I think it's the first of the 28 series to really, really tap into the humanity of like the magnitude of the situation that they're in. Yeah, big fan of it. Yeah, loved it. I've seen it 3 times at the theater, and I rarely go see things multiple times at the theater, but this was one of the ones that I did that with, as I loved it.
Eric, did you see this 3 times in theaters?
I didn't. The 28 years later franchise, I kind of lost interest after the first one. Kind of like the revamp that they did, or I don't know if it was considered a sequel or not. I lost interest, man. And when the Bone Temple came out, I did watch a bit of it. I thought it was, like Chuck said, significantly better than the first one. But it's just still, for some reason, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Like I found myself a little bored in between the scenes where he's kind of ripping people's spines out. Now those parts are great. Like I love that part. But the in between is what's the issue for me. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't grab my attention like I wanted it to. And I don't know if if it's because I didn't see the originals, so maybe that's where the disconnect is. But it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
All right. Well, what's something that you've seen recently that did do it for you?
I mentioned this earlier, man, when we first started. Obsession. And one person that I specifically want to mention, and I hope I pronounce her name correctly, is Indy Navarrete.
That's correct.
Her performance was phenomenal. I said in my review they need to take every award they have sitting in their clock and just throw it at her. Just give her flowers now, and everybody will see what I mean by the time this one drops. She did her thing. She crushed it. There was certain, without giving away too much, there were certain movements or times where she would go from like calm and then frantic all of a sudden and then right back to calm. Oh my God. It was chef's kiss. I loved everything about that movie. This is probably going to be one of my favorite movies of 2026. I'm holding the spot out. I don't want to jump too early, but I loved it from beginning to end.
All right. Chuck, what have you seen recently that you want to share with the audience?
I think if you're a horror lover and you're not watching Widow's Bay on Apple TV, you're really dropping the ball because it's phenomenal. Like, and not only is it, I think as of this time of recording, I think there's 4 episodes out. Not only is it expertly well written, but I love Matthew Rhys. I think Matthew Rhys is a great actor. So he sells it completely. But it's creepy and it's like hilarious, but you never see it coming. And I got part of the Apple First Bite program, so I like seen it. It gets so scary, like, and they do it so well. Like another bold statement. I'm not going to say it's as good as The Haunting of Hill House, but I will say it's the best horror series that dropped on TV since The Haunting of Hill House. Like that's how much I liked it. It ends phenomenally. Like it's so good.
No spoilers. So yeah, and the premise for anybody that has not seen or heard of Widow's Bay, this is basically about an island off the East Coast near, let's say, Boston, where if people are born on this island, they cannot go to the mainland and survive for longer than, let's say, a week. And on this island, bad things happen, and there's hauntings and there's curses and there's various unexplained things. And so as you go through this TV series, you start to see those things play out for certain characters, and it centers around the mayor of Widow's Bay, who, in theory has access to every building, every part of the island, has access to calling, the police if needed, et cetera, for any kind of support. So as you said, Chuck, I mean, it really goes off the rails once you get into the heart of this first season here. And I completely agree that it's also very, very funny. And even the music selections and choices that they have throughout, you're like sitting there, you're like really intense, and then all of a sudden your shoulders are kind of moving and your head's kind of bobbing. And you're like, okay, like this is, they're just kind of like playing with us right now. But it's fun. It's really a fun watch. And I think, like you said with Haunting of Hill House, it's rare to see a horror series that also has just an interesting story in general, and interesting characters where you're invested in them, and you just want to see what the outcome is. So, very happy that you've been able to finish it. I was up
Yeah.
watching the latest episode at like 3 in the morning.
I,
Um,
if you need
and
any
loved
more
it.
if anybody out there needs any more selling on Widow's Bay, it's like Jaws meets The Mist.
All right,
Like it
fair.
feels like it, and it feels like it was penned by Stephen King. Like that's the vibe of the show. Yeah, it's so good. Eric, you'll love it. It's so
I
good.
can't wait. Like I'm
Yeah, it's
making
so
my
good.
list now. Hopefully the
All
people
right.
listening are making theirs too, man. A lot of gems.
You haven't seen any of Widow's Bay yet?
No, I have not. I
All right.
haven't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, the best part, I think if you're just starting it, you can binge the first, 4 or so episodes, and they're dropping new episodes. I think every Wednesday. Sometimes they drop them on Friday, but the most recent one just came out last night. So yeah, I mean, you're going to get hours and hours of really, really good content and a very
Love
interesting
that.
storyline. So
Okay. All right.
excited about that. So going back to other subgenres of horror. One of the most popular ones is found footage, and this has been super popular, since the huge success of Blair Witch Project, and of course Paranormal Activity. And there's been many, many since then, including larger budget as well as small indie budget films. The one that I'm going to call out first, that's more well known for our audience, just because if you haven't seen it, this is the one you need to go see, is Hell House LLC. And this is one that has a lot of haunting imagery. And the premise of this movie is people are going to this building. They understand that it's haunted. They're going to record things. They're going to kind of test each other's limits of, go in that room. The lore is this, the lore is that. Go down to the basement. No one's ever come out of the basement, that kind of thing. But the sequence of events that takes place in this film and where it goes is not what you think going in. And with a title like Hell House LLC, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that scary. It seems like it's going to be hokey and cheap and cheesy and takes shortcuts. No, no, no. This will, point the camera into the darkness, and it will dare you to look away before something pokes its head out. Right. So this is definitely one for any found footage fan. They need to go and watch Hell House LLC. And there's many others that have come following it, but I think that original one is one of the best. A lesser known one that I want to give some love to is a film called Host, which I believe for our friends in the United States is on Netflix still. If not there, I'm sure it's streaming in a number of places. But this is basically a Zoom style seance film that's taking place, and some of the people on the seance are skeptical over if it's real, if it's going to conjure anything up, and sure enough, things start to happen, and you as the viewer are watching the people on screen basically deal with whatever entity is in their space. And I'll kind of leave it at that without sharing more. But it's not as contained as it might sound, in the sense that some of the characters in this film will actually pick up their laptop or their cell phone or whatever and take you into their bedroom or down the hallway or outside and all that. So that's what I really liked about it, is creatively they were like, okay, this is too contained. Let's do some more. And so they really found a storyline that opened it up and made it feel a little bit bigger. Have both of you seen those movies, Hell House LLC and Host? Anything you want to add to that?
I definitely have seen both of those movies, and they are two of my favorite found footage movies. If you don't know a lot about me, found footage is my thing. That's my area. That's my little subgenre. Because when done right, it's just so freaking scary. That realistic element to it. Hell House and Host both capture that so amazingly. Both of those, two of my favorite found footage films. So yeah.
All right. But the ones that you want to hype
Yeah.
as the found footage guy, tell us about it, Eric.
Number one well-known one is The Taking of Deborah Logan. This one kind of follows like a research team, and they're kind of doing interviews and almost like a documentary into this woman who supposedly has dementia. Or no, not dementia, or was it Alzheimer's? One of them. And they're documenting her, and things turn out to be way darker than they thought. This isn't a normal condition she has. I'm leaning more like possession type of deal, and I'll leave it there without giving away too many spoilers. Extremely scary. I love how they introduced the element of her having some type of, illness, and then maybe it's not that. She does some things that are extremely troubling. So it kind of shines some light into the illness while also giving you that horror element, which I think they did it a beautiful job with this one. And one lesser known one, and I really hear me when I say this to anybody.
Yes, listen to the man. Listen to him speak.
The Blackwell Ghost. If you have not seen it, it's how many parts? It's about 7 or 8 parts.
There's 8
parts.
of them, yeah.
You will be invested into this. Like once you go down the rabbit hole, you're not getting out. Watch The Blackwell Ghost, one of the spookiest ghost stories I've seen in a long time. It follows a guy, he's kind of a skeptic. He doesn't believe that ghosts exist, so he goes kind of on a journey, doesn't have really anything else going on, to try to disprove ghosts. So he tries to find, some type of haunted location that he can go to, and he stumbles upon the wrong one, so to speak. And he finds out, well, let's just say this, he's not a skeptic anymore by the end of the series. The Blackwell Ghost, if you have not seen it yet, you need to check it out. Check it out. Trust me.
All right. Chuck, anything to add to Blackwell Ghost or Deborah Logan?
Listen, Turner Clay is a mastermind. The Blackwell Ghost it's so fucking good. Like and the thing of it is, like, found footage, you have to believe the character. Like, you have to buy into their journey, what they're doing, and Turner Clay sells it. From the first 12 minutes of the first, because they're like an hour long each, 8 of them. You buy into him. You buy into him and his story and what he's doing, and like there's no going back once you lock in with him. And it's genuine. Like episode 3 and 4 are 2 of the genuinely scariest things I've seen in quite a long time. Like he gets it. You know what I mean? I think the Blackwell Ghost is phenomenal. I love it so much. I love Deborah Logan as well. I think it's great. They're great suggestions, especially, and they're also great entry-level found footage movies for people that are like against found footage, because I know people like hate shaky cams and all these things, and they're a lot more solidly directed without it being like super nuts and motion sickness. They're both great films.
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck, what found footage movies would you recommend to our
I
listeners?
changed mine in real time.
All right.
I had Grave Encounters, which I think is a fantastic found footage movie, but I changed it because I wasn't thinking when I was like doing my PowerPoint. And I don't know if this is well known outside of the found footage genre. But my well-known is Creep with Mark Duplass, and I think it's the greatest found footage movie ever made, in my personal opinion, followed by one of the best performances we've ever gotten in a horror movie, because Duplass's Joseph is he's like your uncle. It's like a dude that you could drink eggnog with on Christmas that will literally put a hatchet in your face at any second, and his duality of his performance from going from regular guy to complete total psychopath is one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen in a movie, which makes it genuinely terrifying. Like, to be lulled in to care about somebody almost and be emotionally attached to a psychopath is just, the only other thing I can compare it to that has pulled me into a character like that is like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. You know what I mean? Like, cause you just, even though he's like not like a good guy, you still like are invested in him. You know what I mean? Through that performance. Yeah, I think Creep is so criminally underrated of a movie. Yeah. And my lesser known one is not released yet, but I will take the liberty of speaking about it because it's called Don't Look in the Dark. I seen it for the Unnamed Footage Festival in San Francisco a couple months ago. It's coming. And it's an incredibly polarizing found footage movie that people are either going to love it or they're going to hate it. There will be zero in between with it. 72% of the movie is pitch black and just sound. Like, you can't see anything. But so it's about these 2 people that are in the woods, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, it's found footage. We're in the woods. You know what I mean? So it's about these 2 people that are in the woods, but their phones are recording in their pockets, and they have no idea that their phones are recording due to things that they may or may not explain to you. And then people find that footage, you know what I mean? Like, find their phones. So they're like it's very shaky cam. It's very experimental. It's very lots of people just walking through the woods and hearing things. There's over 5,000 different images inserted into this movie in the darkness that whenever, like, if all three of us watched it separately at home and then had a conversation about what we think this movie's about, we're all going to have a different opinion, and none of us are wrong. And I think it's one of the most brilliant things that somebody's done to, like, found footage in a lot. Like, I loved it. But it's like a Skinamarink type kind of movie. Like, people are either going to absolutely hate it or they're going to see it for the brilliance that it is. But, like, if you love found footage, it's a journey I would highly recommend taking.
And does this have distribution? Do you know? Is it going to go to like IFC and Shudder?
No. I don't know if I can let this out in the public, but I'm going to.
You can keep it quiet.
It might be going on a road show as Chuck the Movie Guy presents. Is a possibility. No, I hit them up and like, I loved it. So like I don't know if you've guys seen The Outwaters, like Robbie Banfitch, The Outwaters, like, which is another movie people fucking hate, but I like love it. But if I see something that really resonates with me, I will reach out and say, like, this did something. Like, it gave me such a visceral experience. But it's coming, and it's coming soon. Probably, I think, like, October is when the rumblings are going to start, but it's going to be in very controlled, limited engagements. And once you get into the depth of, like, what they made it for and everything like that, listen, this is the frightening little engine that could, because the fact that it even got to that festival or my radar is like, and I'm a champion for the underdogs, like, I want this thing to succeed, but I also think that it's genuinely scary.
Yeah.
Great. Well, maybe Utopia can get involved. So I'll talk to you offline about that. We'll see what we can do. And, for your first film, Creep, that you mentioned, obviously that was also adapted into a TV series
Which is great.
that's had a lot of acclaim. And shout out to Mark Duplass, who very well could be a guest on a future episode here because he is a friend and a partner to the company. So
yeah, and Patrick Bryce, and I talk to Patrick Bryce like on a regular basis, and he is like also the sweetest. Like, he's just like, he's enamored that I love Creep so much. Like, he's just like, because they like genuinely love what they created. You know what I mean? Which is so cool to just hear them talk about it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, there's a realism to that movie.
It is,
and I think that's what makes it work. Like, the fact that this could actually happen. You can meet a creep on the internet. He genuinely seems harmless until he doesn't. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, man. It works. The realism surrounding that movie and the fact that this is something that could actually happen is what makes it so terrifying. I'm a lover of Creep as well.
All right.
I love that.
Now, do you guys like found footage more than any other subgenre, or is there another type of subgenre that you would just out of a bag lean into more? If somebody just said, "Oh, I got this kind of movie, that kind of movie." What are your thoughts on found footage just in general?
I do. I love found footage. Is probably my favorite of all subgenres, just because when it's done right, it's just, I've rarely seen found footage done right and it be a bad movie. Like, so I love it. I love found footage. That's something I'm passionate about. So definitely my favorite of all subgenres. So that's me though. Yep.
I think found footage, I think found footage is my favorite subgenre. And I'll give you a couple reasons why. Like, but I also love I love body horror and I love religious horror. They're probably all neck and neck for me. But found footage is the one genre that I'll watch them all. Like for some reason, like, I get a joy. Like, 'cause you have to watch 100 shitty found footage movies to get a good one. But when you get the good one, it's really fucking good. And it's really satisfying to, like, be the person that kind of, like, finds it. Plus, it's deeper than the genre because found footage is the medium for independent filmmakers who have $0 to express their art. Yeah. And it's an avenue. And, like, I battle with people online all the time, and they're like, "Oh, the shaky cam," or "This is stupid," or "this, that," or whatever. And then they, like, forget, if they look back, that, like, their favorite director that made some of the directors that made some of the best movies that you've ever seen, like, experimented with found footage shorts and things like that. So, like, it's not only for the genre, but it's also for, championing the voices to get out there. It's the easiest, most accessible way to get your name known in horror, Just make a fucking found footage movie, because you could do it for 10 grand. You know what I mean? Like, you know, theoretically, yeah, I love found footage.
Yeah.
Great.
Speaking of good, can I do a just shameless plug for
Plug it. Let's go.
Go for it.
Dream Eater. Here's another one. I hope you guys have your pen and pad out. Dream Eater, another found footage film that is great. It's another one that kind of mixes in like a person who has a possible illness. This person has a sleep disorder, so he and his girlfriend go out to a cabin, and they're trying to figure things out. They're working together, and turns out it may not be an illness or a sleep disorder. There's a whole lot more going on, and this thing gets freaking insane, man. And I want you guys to check that one out too. That one came out, what was it, like last year sometime?
It was like, yeah.
Yep, Dream Eater, man. Definitely worth a watch for those who love found footage.
And to go with what I just said, not to cut you off, Cole, but Dream Eater was made for less than 50,000 Canadian dollars by 3 people that made their first feature film, that then got stamped by Eli Roth. It got put into movie theaters, and now they're rewriting Eli Roth scripts, and like they have a career and a manager, and like through that little movie they threw together, like it opened up so many doors for them. Even if you hated that movie, like, because it was a polarizing movie, people loved it or they hated it. Enough people watched it that like it was accessible enough that it propelled the career of 3 wonderful human beings. Yes, I second everything Eric said.
I'm going to be checking this out tonight because somehow I missed this when it first came out. But you know, everything you guys have said.
You might know somebody that has quotes all over the all over the Blu-ray.
All right, very good. Well, I'm going to give a plug as well. So this is a Utopia film. It's called In Our Blood, and this stars Brittany O'Grady, who you may know from a film that's on Netflix called It's What's Inside. And the premise of In Our Blood is a young lady who is trying to explore her lineage and some family secrets, and goes back to New Mexico, meets with her family, meets with her estranged mother, and starts to kind of interview people around town to piece together a mystery that she's been trying to solve for many years around things that she's experiencing. And let's just say that things take a turn for the worse. And I don't want to give away the big reveal, but the movie is called In Our Blood, and that is available now.
Listen, I just pulled it up. This is 100%. I'm going to watch this tonight.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
It's one of the only found footage movies in Utopia's catalog up to this moment in time, and I'm sure we're gonna have many more. But this one is really entertaining. It's not 100% found footage, but a good portion of it is, and it's used effectively.
All in.
Great.
Love that.
So another subgenre that is highly popular is the slasher subgenre, and so we're going to make a couple recommendations in this. Obviously, the initial ones that people think of or that come to mind are the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as well as Halloween, both of which have developed in these massive franchises. So, Chuck, before I go on, what do you want to say about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
If you can't see around my room, but I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with my entire heart. Because not only is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre an absolute flawless masterpiece, but I think the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre is right there with it, because it's terrifying. And there was nothing that could have made me happier than hearing that they're going to give the keys to that franchise to Curry Barker. Because 1, Obsession is incredible. Go see Obsession. 2, I'm friends with Curry's dad, and he told me a story that like when Curry was like 11 years old, before he even knew he was going to direct or do anything, like he loved the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like this is not giving it to just some internet sensation. They're handing it to somebody that gives a shit about that franchise, that thinks that they could better it. And I don't think there's better hands that you could put it in. Also, the J.T. Molnar adaptation that they're making into a series, because they're going to drop simultaneously, I'm also into that because I thought Strange Darling was incredible. So let that dude do an 8-episode Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. Sure, yeah, I mean, I want to see it. Yeah, I don't know about Glenn Powell. Like, I hope Glenn Powell's not in it because I don't really care for Glenn Powell. But he got money; he can help make it be good. Just as long as he's like not, he's too pretty to be a main character in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
But he's a Texas boy, so I mean it ties in perfectly. I mean, we'll see.
Now if he did a turn, like if he played like the sheriff and like did a turn and we got like something we've never seen from Glenn Powell and he plays like some diabolical fucked up sheriff.
Yeah.
Sure. I would. Yeah. Let's see what they got. Like I'm interested, but I think that the movie that Curry's going to make, that's already on my, I don't think that's going to be till like 2028. No. We got time for that, but like, yeah, I'm so excited. Now he's starting to talk Nightmare on Elm Street, which is like crazy talk. I'm like, listen, just give the kid everything now.
That'd be fantastic. Well, so here's a couple recommendations for our listeners in the slasher subgenre. So I'll start out with one that we've already talked about briefly, American Psycho. Christian Bale playing an absolute lunatic perfectly. I think that this is just amazingly done. The film is hilarious. It's terrifying in certain parts. It's gory in certain parts. But it really has everything that you want in a slasher film in terms of just, getting that bucket of popcorn, just sitting back, putting your feet up, and just being entertained. This does it. Another one that is much more gory and much more graphic and is lesser known is called In a Violent Nature. This was unrated, I believe, when it initially played in theaters. I don't know if it's streaming on Amazon or Shudder. It's definitely somewhere right now. Mm-hmm. But this is one of the most graphic films I've ever seen. Not just as a slasher movie, but any, even more than Terrifier in many ways, which is crazy to even think about. But this is one. If I'm going to use a sports analogy, it's like watching somebody miss a dunk in super slow motion, and then seeing it from another angle and another angle and another angle. And so when you walk away from that game, or in this case, this movie, all you have in your head is all these graphic images that you never knew you were ever going to experience. So I think this is a movie that definitely went for experience over story. And the premise of it is, basically a Jason-esque character that can't die, walks around this hockey mask, and just out of nowhere just starts picking people off. And he takes his time and he gets creative, with how he does it. So this is one for horror lovers. It's a must watch for sure. And if slasher is your thing, I don't think you're going to be disappointed by In a Violent Nature. Eric, anything to add for American Psycho or In a Violent Nature?
In a Violent Nature is one that I've heard so much about. I'm actually one of the late ones to the party who has not seen that one yet, but I heard it is gruesome. I heard it is crazy. Yeah. American Psycho, it's just a straight up classic. What more can I really say about it? But yeah, both I definitely recommend you to add to your list. I'm going to be taking my own advice and checking out A Violent Nature myself. 3 deep as far as this list is concerned. So I already have 3 written down. Hopefully you guys have a few more than I do. Check them out. Definitely. American Psycho and A Violent Nature. Yeah, for sure.
Also, just as a quick aside, anytime you have somebody like Christian Bale playing a bad guy like this, I feel like they have a lot of fun with the character. It's similar to like when Tom Cruise plays Vincent in Collateral, which I think is one of his best roles. And Collateral is one of few movies outside of Utopia, of course, that I had gone to see 3+ times in theaters because I absolutely loved it. And you hear many times very, very famous actors, and in some cases even directors and writers saying, I want to get more into these, other categories. So if they're too much in horror, then they want to get more into drama or comedy and kind of dip their toe in that water. But it's always interesting to see somebody that is just a superstar like a Christian Bale take on a serial killer-esque role as he does in this film. Chuck, anything to add before you go into your recommendations?
Yeah, every single person that was in Christian Bale's corner told him not to take that role. His agents, everybody around him, that was the one that everybody told him not to take, told him it would ruin his career, and it did the exact opposite, and it propelled his career because he's phenomenal in it. And In a Violent Nature is not going to be for. I love it. Like it's not going to be for everyone. Brutal is an understatement. I mean, it's fucking brutal. It's brutal and visceral, but it's a POV slasher. You know what I mean? And it does have depth to it because they took his locket, and that locket's tied into his family and stuff. Like there's some underlying little bit to it. The second one's coming out, the In a Violent Nature too, so I'm pretty stoked about that as well. But yeah, it's if you're looking to whet your gore appetite, it will definitely give it to you because there's a scene in there that's right there with the bedroom scene. I mean, they're neck and neck. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, but it's so cool. Speaking of Terrifier, that would be my well-known one. I think anybody that wants to get into slashers, I mean, Terrifier redefined the slasher genre. It gave us a new icon in Art the Clown. I'm a fan of the first one versus the other two. It's my favorite because it was made for no money. It's low budget. It's so creepy, and it's like when art was really scary. You know what I mean? Like just with stares, and you know, he didn't have much comedy to him. But I think the first Terrifier I just think it's special. It's like lightning in a bottle to me. And my underrated one is The Hills Run Red from 2009. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's about a group of horror fans that go searching for this film that mysteriously disappeared, you know, like ages ago. And they do some, you know, investigation in this town and find out that it's like in this cabin type thing. And there's like, fuck it. And they go there to do it. And that's where the babyface killer is at. And I think The Hills Run Red, if it would have had, you know, $50,000 more to the budget, could have been huge. Could have been a franchise. I think the killer is scary and visceral and threatening and original, and the story's good. Like I love it. It's such a hidden gem for a good slasher.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Eric, any other horror-related topic of interest that you want to bring up before we wind down for our final recommendations?
Most definitely. What do you guys think about this kind of new wave of liminal space or analog horror? What do you think? Is this the new thing? Is it going to take over? Or is it going to kind of fall flat? Because in my opinion, I don't know if it's going to be for everybody. Like you have the back rooms. There was one that was coming out recently, something 8.
Exit 8?
Exit 8. There you go. Exit 8. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but there's a kind of like a cult following behind these type of movies. So it does have the potential to kind of take over. And I was just curious, what do you guys think about that?
Exit 8 is fantastic.
Okay.
Like if you didn't see it, like I think it's out on VOD. I saw it at Overlook down in New Orleans at the film festival, and I had no expectations for it whatsoever, and was blown away by it. Like it's so good, and it's creepy. Loved it. I do think things are trending that way, but I think the issue is going to be, and this is why I'm afraid of the Backrooms. The Backrooms has such a cult following, but was never intended for something to be so accessible. You know what I mean? It's either for people that get it or don't get it. And I'm afraid that they're going to push it from its original idea to make it more accessible, which I think will water it down. So that's like what scares me. But I mean, it's the YouTubers and the analog creators, and like that's the untapped talent in the world, and that seems like where every studio's going now, and they're looking for these Kane Parsons and Curry Barkers and the guy that made the other side of the box is what's the Prayer for God? I forget what the name of it is. Why can't I think of his name now? But they're giving him a movie, you know what I mean? And he had shit blow up on YouTube. And if he's listening, I apologize. I can't think of his name on the spot. But that's where it's coming from. Yeah, I mean, like there's things on YouTube, like the Greylock tapes. Yeah. Have you seen that?
No.
Eric, here's your next series. And listen, every time I've ever posted a Greylock tapes video, they go to the moon.
Okay.
And you'll understand when you see it. Like you could even talk to Stoney, because Stoney has done the Greylock tapes many times. 1, it's fantastic. 2, it's terrifying. But 3, it has such a deep, rich story to it that it's dying for a movie adaptation. It's probably top 3 analog horror for me. It's legitimately terrifying. So, yeah, I mean, there's, analog is the new found footage. It's the easy, it's another way for for these voices to get heard. So I do think it's leaning that way. I mean, look at what Markiplier did, and that's not analog, but these people already have this well established following, and he, and it's been proven that like it could do something. And then they're going to give like Kane Parsons $25 million. The young kid, first time director here, director thing. So it's like they're looking for him. So who's the next one? Like. When Curry made Milk and Cereal, nobody thought that he would be saying, I'm directing the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is bigger. Him directing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is bigger than Obsession being as good as it is. That's huge.
Yes, most definitely.
You're talking 50 years. You're talking a 50-year franchise with rabid fans.
Right.
You're just going to give it to this 20-something-year-old kid? Yeah. That's huge. That's faith.
It shows
let the next wave, let them cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if Backrooms is as successful as we think it is, there's going to be a lot of movies like that as far as liminal spaces go. And, even Skinamarink, is kind of a analog film, right? In terms of just like the graininess and not really knowing, what you're going to see visually and all that. And so, anytime those types of movies work, people usually try to mimic that formula and see if they can recreate the magic. So totally agree with you. Yep. So we're nearing the end of our conversation today. We're going to end today with a couple final recommendations of what people can go watch right now, whether they're in theaters, on demand, streaming somewhere, etc. So I'm going to start with one. It's a zombie film called #Alive. So it's actually like the hashtag sign, pound sign, however you want to call that. But #Alive. This is on Netflix in the United States. This is a very intense zombie film that is truly terrifying. And it immediately, jumps into the perspective of somebody basically trapped in a apartment high-rise building after the zombie apocalypse has begun, and he has to figure out, how he's going to survive. That's all I'll share without any spoilers. But this is a really, really fun one for people that discover it organically or hear about it through this podcast. So that's my recommendation. Chuck, how about you?
That's another one I just added to my list because I'm not privy to it, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to plug Obsession again. Even if you've seen it, go see it again because you're going to love it that much that you're going to go see it again.
Yes.
Because it's when people were like raving, I could see Obsession ending up like a Hereditary. Like Hereditary changed, and even I'm not even a huge fan of Hereditary, but you can't deny that it's a game changer. Like it came out when nobody expected it, and it was so good. And Obsession is exactly that. Like it's that. I think Obsession blows Hereditary out of the water. There's a bold statement for you. Go see that.
Yes.
All right. Eric, how about you?
I'm going to go Hokum. I went to see that one recently in theaters. And if you like a good ghost story, one that takes its time, one that doesn't, overdo with the, the blood and guts, but gives you a good jump scare, good story, the setting is just freaking creepy in this film. I would definitely recommend, if you like a good ghost story, go see Hokum. It's in theaters. I'm not sure for how long because it has been in there for a little while now. Go see it if you can.
All right. Chuck, you saw that at South by Southwest, right?
Yes, I'd not seen it again because I had a real bad. I didn't even talk about it after South by. I had a real bad theater experience because they kept opening the doors with lights, so I couldn't get immersed. So I went to see it again in New Orleans, and I think it's fantastic. But I also think it's something that you have to see a couple of times because there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it than people think. Like it's going to be one that's going to age well over time. But if you're looking to just get freaked out and go into a creepy Irish castle ghost story, it's gonna feed because it's a creepy flick.
Yeah.
Great. Well, there you have it, everybody. So you have a lot of horror recommendations, both in terms of films and TV series, and some online-only digital content. Make sure to go follow Popcorn Selections and Chuck, the movie guy, on social media. Obviously, like and subscribe and comment and share and do all those things for Fear Assembly because we want to be your source of all horror-related content, from, again, movie recommendations and discovery to conversations and down the road interviews and other fun conversations in the space. So very much appreciate your support. For any of the films that we've mentioned today, if you don't know where to see it, you can go to justwatch.com and choose your country or region, and it'll tell you if it's in theaters, if it's on digital, if it's streaming, etc. So that's the best tool to find all of this content. And there's going to be many more episodes to come, so stick around, and thank you for your support. Thank you, everyone.
All right.